By the end of the year, Liberty was the #1 recovery service in the county. Our reputation was bulletproof. Customers trusted us, law enforcement respected us, and the HOA couldn't lay a finger on me anymore. My F-50 sat proudly in the gravel drive every day, right where it belonged. Sometimes I'd stand by the fence and watch the HOA board members drive by, still clutching their clipboards and giving me dirty looks. They'd lost. They knew it, and deep down, they hated that they created the very monster who beat them. My drivers knew their roots, my dispatcher was fair, and the community trusted us. For the first time in a long while, I felt peaceful. She said her husband's pickup had been towed right out of their driveway. Same story as mine. No notice, no warning, no legal papers. About 6 months after I bought the company, things settled into a good rhythm. But of course, peace never lasts forever. One rainy Tuesday afternoon, I got a call from a woman sobbing so hard I could barely understand her. "Please," she cried. "I don't know who else to call. The same neighborhood association that tried to break me was now attacking working families, using another shady towing outfit to steal their vehicles." I told her to text me the paperwork. Sure enough, it was another HOA stunt. The whole rep was there, Clarissa, my old enemy, acting like she was a queen, bossing around the tow truck operator. "And next time, you will go to jail." That was enough. I drove over to her house with 2 of my drivers, cameras rolling on our phones. Section by section, point by point, I recited it all. Maybe so, but I was making it harder to rip people off. And that was worth everything. My drivers would show up, armed with the law, and set things right. I walked out to see a TV news van pulling in. The reporter stepped out, all makeup and polished hair, holding a microphone. We turned into a kind of neighborhood watch, but for tow trucks. She turned red, tried to talk over me, but I wouldn't back down. Finally, the shady tow guy realized I owned Liberty Recovery and Haul, and he didn't want to tangle with me. She said, "Your name keeps coming up in neighborhoods all across the county." He dropped the chains, unhooked the pickup, and got the hell out of there. I stepped out of my truck, rain dripping from my jacket, and looked her straight in the eye. Maybe if people heard what we were doing, more of them would stand up their own rights. "Clarissa," I said calmly, "you're breaking the law." She tried to wave me off, but I showed her the property code. I hooked up my old trailer, loaded Buddy in the cab, and headed out to the lake. Fishing rods, cooler, peaceful silence. I'd earned it. Other counties even reached out, asking if we consider expanding. For the first time in my life, I was being called a hero. I watched the segment in my living room. Buddy snoring at my feet, my old Ford gleaming in the background. We gave away food, toys, even offered free safety checks for cars. I stood there watching hundreds of neighbors smiling, talking, letting their kids run around. No HOA boards breathing down their necks. The family was crying with relief. Clarissa looked like she wanted to vanish into the mud. "You can't keep doing this," I told her. "I will record you every time. I will report you every time." Those weren't just vehicles. They were people's lives, their hopes, their second chances. And in fighting back, I built a whole community around the same idea. She didn't say a word, just stomped off down the sidewalk with her clipboard clenched like a dagger. I started offering free classes once a month, open to the public, to teach people about their towing rights, what documents a tow operator needs, what a landlord can legally do, what an HOA can't do. That moment felt incredible, not because I'd won, but because I protected someone. That's what I wanted Liberty to stand for. After that showdown, word spread fast. People called us to report illegal tows. At first, other towing companies hated me. They said I was making it harder to turn a profit. One Saturday, I was doing inventory at the yard when Buddy, my German Shepherd, started barking wildly. A municipal law like some professor, and I realized how far I'd come. "Are you the owner?" she asked. I nodded. By the 3rd month, we had 20, then 50. By the 6th month, The county fire marshal made us move the classes to the high school gym because so many people wanted to come. We'd like to do a story on how you turned a shady towing company around. At first I wanted to say no. I wasn't in this for fame. But then I thought about it, so I told her everything. They ran the story the night, primetime local news. It was titled From Victim to Victor. How one man changed towing in this county. I couldn't lie. It felt good. The news story exploded online. Liberty's phones rang off the hook for days. It felt strange. I was just a guy who got fed up with being pushed around. But if that was hero work, so be it. A few weeks later, I finally took a weekend off. On Sunday morning, my phone buzzed. A text from my dispatcher. Clarissa is gone. It read. Whole board voted her out. I laughed so hard I nearly tipped my coffee over. Sometimes the world really does put bullies in their place. That summer, Liberty Recovery and Hall sponsored a local festival, free admission for veterans, kids, and their dogs. Buddy got belly rubs from half the crowd. As the sun set, I realized something. Owning that truck had meant freedom to me. They tried to steal it, to steal my freedom. No one should lose what's theirs because some paper-pushing hoa bully thinks they know better. I looked out across the parking lot, rows of honest trucks, battered minivans, family SUVs, and I was never going to let someone take that away again. As Liberty Recovery and Hall kept growing, I made one more change that no one saw coming. The first month, maybe 5 people showed up, sitting on folding chairs in our dusty garage. I stood there in front of that crowd, a working-class guy in blue jeans, explaining property codes. When you get wrong, you have a choice. Let it eat you alive, or let it drive you to change the system. I'd chosen to change it. One night after class, a gray-haired gentleman approached me, tears in his eyes. Son, he said, voice shaking, I wish someone like you had been around when they took my Winnebago. They cleaned me out. I put a hand on his shoulder. Well, I told him, you've got me now.